Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stacy Williams, and I am the tasked at our job with recruiting employees to be part of a 6-person team to recommend a new performance evaluation system. And I've created a presentation to bring to management so that they understand what is involved in building an effective team. First, we're going to talk about some team building methods, and essentially a team is a group of individuals with complementary skills who depend upon one another to accomplish a common purpose or set a performance goal for which they hold themselves mutually accountable. And a team is developed to work toward a common goal and share that responsibility for the team's success. Teamwork, on the other hand, is done when the members subordinate their personal prominence for the good of the team. So in other words, they don't think that they're the only important aspect of the team. They put aside their personal agenda for the good of the team to work together and be a success. So some things that we find with members of effective teams are that they are open and honest with one another. There's support and trust. There's a high degree of cooperation and collaboration. Decisions are reached by consensus and not by bullying. There's open communication channels, and they're well developed, and there's a commitment to the team's goals. There are some additional team characteristics that would include making decisions based on facts, dividing up responsibilities so that not everyone is overwhelmed or that it's an unfair amount of work for one person versus another. And then listening to everybody and their contributions to the cause, considering conflict, and then keeping in mind that conflict is okay in a team building effort because it helps you develop constructive criticism and it might even give you different ways of solving a problem, things that you might have not thought about before. And then you also have to keep in mind the type of team being formed or the team purpose, because that's going to dictate what kind of skills are necessary for that team to perform. The best team members can vary depending on the work and what the leader feels will work well for them. There are different types of teams and different team development stages. In our particular instance, our evaluation system team is going to consist of 6 members of a multifunctional team type structure. These members transcend from throughout the organization and they use similar skill sets and functions. I think we're also going to look at some traditional member idea or members for the team. So we do have some management involved in developing the evaluation system. I think that's important because if we have too many people that don't know what they need to do, we might not be a success either. So we do need somebody in leadership to help with this. And then we're also going to focus on solving a problem. We need a new evaluation system. And so this is considered a short-term, specific, goal-minded type of team. And we are going to be utilizing a cross-section of employees to complete the tasks. And we do have some timelines involved. So keeping that in mind, there's 5 stages that teams progress through as they develop. The first stage is called the forming stage. And that's where we are basically setting the stage for our team. We're defining the goals, we're giving objectives, we're deciding who's going to do what or who might be better in which position. We're receiving guidance and direction and information about the project, what our expectations will be, our timelines. We're meeting everybody else in that group and sharing our knowledge and skills and abilities, experience, our backgrounds, our interests. Different things so that we can all get to know one another. The second stage in team development is called the storming stage, and that allows the members to start sharing ideas while they're still kind of trying to figure out what they're going to do in the team, which things are they going to be responsible for, what roles are they going to fulfill. So now they're working together to individually solve problems and manage conflict. And we have the project managers facilitating and coaching, giving contributions, respecting everyone, and being an effective listener. And they're going to start allowing that team to start making some decisions on their own. Stage 3 is called the norming stage, and that's where things start to kind of flow. Things are getting into their groove. People are getting into their groove. Team members know what role they're in. They know what they're supposed to be doing. They've developed some trust and respect and value for one another. They're starting to work effectively, asking for help if needed, and sharing information for the greater good of the team. And the project managers are encouraging and celebrative. They were trying to be motivating and appreciative and mindful of any changes that need to be made. In a performing stage, we see that the members are focused on the goals and they're performing at a high level with minimum project manager oversight. They can solve problems on their own, make decisions. They're relying on one another to get through this stage, yet they can still work alone as well. And then the manager, the project manager is actually the go-between for the executives and the team, letting everybody know what's going on, monitoring progress, celebrating milestones, but not micromanaging the team at all. It's a time that things are flowing and things are starting to be completed, things are starting to come together, and there's not much guidance needed any longer. And then the final stage is to adjourn, and that's when the team dissolves because the project is complete and the project manager celebrates and documents what did and didn't work in this process. In our situation, I think that we're going to be using all stages of the development because we really have things that need to be done in all of those stages and situations. We have to come together as a team to learn about the project and set our goals. We need to look at how to be effective and work together individually and as a team. We need to seek guidance and input from others to make this new system effective. The project manager is going to monitor the team, but allow them to utilize their own knowledge, skills, and abilities to get the job done. They'll need to be innovative and look outside the box, and decisions are being made on how to resolve problems with or without the project manager's help. The project manager, during this time, will need to assess situations, diagnose problems, and take corrective action if necessary. This could pertain to situations where like some social loafing might be occurring. Social loafing is like distracted members of the team when they're in a meeting, they're looking at their cell phones or getting up and leaving the room to answer phone calls. They're late to team meetings. They're not on track. They're not getting things done. It can also be personality conflicts in this type of a team. Sometimes people simply just don't get along. And if that's the case, and all other things have been tried and not succeeded, then that member may need to be dismissed from the team. We also are at this stage, the project manager needs to figure out if there is any additional training needed, force people to be accountable for their actions if they're not meeting deadlines, they're not succeeding. The project manager also needs to motivate everybody and reemphasize those team goals if things aren't going well. By establishing the goals, roles, and deadlines, then we have some accountability occurring. If the team is trusting and they're open and collaborating together, they'll be effective. And a strong leader will help us set these clear expectations, develop others, and manage change. Once this team has established the new evaluation system, it's likely going to be disbanded and the job will be completed. However, from the standpoint of the implementation of the new system, that's going to be an ongoing collaboration that might need some readjustment, refining as it is implemented. There may be a cause to reform this team to evaluate some changes that might need to be made and adjusted to keep the system operating effectively. We'll see how things go once the new evaluation system is put into place and see if things need to be adjusted as time goes on. Some examples would be for this new system to work, the members would need to create performance appraisals to gather facts, allow for open communication, reflect on the employee's actual work performance, and stop problems before they become issues. There are some internal and external team dynamics that affect the roles and behaviors of members and the whole group. And we've got some internal dynamics which are done within the team. It's individuals that take on like a harmonizer type position where they are providing support or praise from the team effort. There may be somebody that takes over a compromising position. They might change their ideas for the good of the team to prevent a standoff if things aren't going well. They might be the deciding factor on how that team's decisions will be made. There are commentators in groups, and they provide feedback during decision-making processes. And the internal factors are usually happening during the norming and performing stages. When the team members are trying to resolve conflict and be encouraging. There are external team dynamics that also occur during this phase, and this is including getting information out to others. There's people who buffer and protect the team from bad news. There's advisors that help the team consider options and which decision to make. There might be a gatekeeper that controls information and the inflow and outflow of information for the team. There might be a coordinator that arranges communication with external sources. A strategist would deal with threats and approaches management for money, if there's any technological needs or additional manpower if needed. And then in client relationships, that person may be acting as a liaison between the client and the team, providing feedback. These dynamics generally occur without assignment and often by default if the project manager isn't effective. So we have to be careful that there is not a work overload or team stress occurring if these external dynamics fall onto some of the members of the team. This typically happens during the storming, norming, or performing stages. Ineffective leadership can occur during any of these stages, and a project manager might not be encouraging or assertive, isn't monitoring things as they're going on, and doesn't exhibit strong leadership skills. I was just going to give a quick personal example. Where I currently work, I'm on a team that is on I believe it's a $5 million project. We just finished it. The project actually is finished up, but there's a lot of paperwork and administrative handling that still needs to be done. But during the process, when I was brought in to take care of some situations that were happening with payroll portion not getting done, and what I found is that the project manager on our team has not been very good at keeping close tabs on what's going on. As long as I'm providing him with the information, it seems to be sufficient. If I go to him and ask him questions, he doesn't seem to know the answers. So I guess as a project manager, I would expect that he would know some of those answers. So that's been a little disappointing, and I've had to figure things out on my own, which is fine. I'm good with that, but makes it hard to know in certain situations exactly what you should and shouldn't do. Some other things that I'm learning by being on this team real quick is that now that we're almost to the adjoining stage, probably within the next couple of weeks here, is that if I am on a team of this type again, I definitely want to do some administrative pre-training and make sure that I have administrative access at a higher level than what I have had going along on this project, so that I can help other members of the team in the payroll portion of the administration to get things done.